I went in. The waiter seemed to be making a serious invitation, and the women still smiled while they called me with funny waves. Inside, shouts and laughs, and a smell of well-cooked fish. "Come here! Sit down with us," one of the women I had seen through the window said. There was not too much room on the table, but a few agile movements left the place enough to stretch my hand to the sardines they couldn't sell in the morning. "Take one, take one," other woman said, bringing the stainless steel tray over with the toast, sardines, and the sea salt grains melting with the hot olive oil of the edge. I took one of the sardines and put it on a slice of bread that smelled even better than the sardines. They stared at me until I ate the first bite, then drank to me pleased and served me a cup of wine. After a few sardines and some glasses of wine, I laughed and talked about simple things with confidence. Food came and went, and people talked about the last exploits of the card games. An accordion started to play and some sailors began to sing. I saw with worry the ducks through the window. "They are all sailor songs," one of the women said. "You will soon learn them. They are always singing the same ones." She thought that my disarray was owed to my ignorance of the songs. The lights switched on and people kept coming and going. In one of those occasions, Fräulein got in, stopped on the door to talk with a woman that was going out. They talked friendly, even she seemed worried and she was encouraging him. He looked at me. He saw me. Sure he did. But he didn't stop to talk to her until she left. Afterwards, he went to the bar and mixed with the singers. When the songs were running out and there were no more to eat, the laughs were dying away. The waiter was paling the table from the outside up next to the window. Some of the women had left yet, and others insisted me to stay. But there were fewer and fewer people, and it was more inevitable to exchange glances with Fräulein. He was still upset, and I was afraid of telling him what I hadn't done. So I left, taking advantage of a group of people's departure. I took the last look to the bar. Fräulein wasn't there. The hotel was in silence. I opened my room's door and switched on the light. On the floor, asking for attention, there was a white envelope, like the other time. I opened it expecting a note as clear as the previous. "Take care," or something similar. But it wasn't. This time there was a bit more to read, a bit more to understand. In front of this tangle of letters, I thought that maybe I was drunk, and the sardines weighed on my stomach and the tiredness on my eyes. I put the note on the envelope and I went to bed without strength to even let it on the floor again. Then I fell asleep. The helicopter landed in a desolated place, an abandoned quarry, on the edge of a precipice that invited to a huge artificial lake. The woman that looked like a cute comic character got down. Damien took off the headphones and looked at me. "Get down," he ordered. I could hardly move. I looked outside. The air was cold, the silence terrifying. The woman looked to the front, in the edge of the artificial lake. Damien got off the helicopter but stayed beside it. I stretched the bones, looked at Damien who had his back to me, leaned against the helicopter. I looked at the military woman. He seemed to be miles away. I started to walk in an opposite way from them. They didn't notice it. I walked faster. I ran. There weren't anything, only bare rocks and a cliff. Suddenly, the military woman that looked like a cult comic character appeared in front of me. I looked behind, seeking a way out. I had moved not even 20 meters from the helicopter. Damian looked at the woman. She took me by my neck again and dragged me to the edge of the precipice. The water was downer than it seemed from the distance. Here, is it right? The woman asked to Damian. He made a positive gesture with the head. He had an indifferent look, uncomfortable. The woman looked at me victorious, took off the gun and put it on my head. I looked at the water, so low, so clear.